This is the Cholo News Report for Thursday, 24 January 2019. A gunman kills 5 people at a SunTrust Bank's branch in Sebring, Florida, United States, following a hostage situation. The suspect later surrendered himself to the authorities. A man, injured during clashes with French police, is given help during a demonstration in Paris, called by the Yellow Vests movement in a row of nationwide protest. For the 10th consecutive Saturday against high cost of living, government tax reforms and for more social and economic justice. Supporters of Felix Tshisekedi, leader of the Congolese main opposition party, the Union for Democracy and Social Progress, who was announced as the winner of the presidential elections, celebrate along the streets of Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. Egypt's Prime Minister Mostafa Madbouly speaks to journalists as he arrives at the hospital, where Vietnamese victims of an attack on a tourist bus were taken, in Al Haram district in the Egyptian capital Cairo's western twin city of Giza. The United States, Canada and several Latin American nations recognize opposition leader Juan Guaido as president of Venezuela. Venezuela's crisis quickly escalated on Wednesday, as an opposition leader backed by the Trump administration declared himself interim president in a direct challenge to embattled socialist Nicolas Maduro, who retaliated by breaking off relations with the United States, his biggest trade partner. For the past 2 weeks, ever since Maduro took the oath for a second 6-year term, in the face of widespread international condemnation, the newly invigorated opposition had been preparing for nationwide demonstrations Wednesday, coinciding with the anniversary marking the end of Venezuela's last military dictatorship in 1958. The US led a chorus of Western Hemisphere nations, including Canada, Brazil, Argentina and Colombia, that immediately backed the bold challenge, with President Donald Trump calling on Maduro to resign, and promising to use the full weight of the U.S. economic and diplomatic power to push for the restoration of Venezuela's democracy. The declaration by the Lima Group, which has been vocal in denouncing Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, was signed by Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, Paraguay and Peru. A police report said that a 30-year-old worker named Carlos Olives was killed Tuesday night in Ciudad Bolívar by 4 unidentified people who descended from a beach jeep and fired upon a crowd that had raided a store. The competing demonstrations will come after a whirlwind week that saw an uprising by a tiny military unit, fires set during protests in poor neighborhoods, and the brief detention by security forces of the newly installed head of the opposition-controlled Congress. The Venezuelan military rejects Juan Guaido's self-proclaimed presidency, and remains loyal to President Nicolas Maduro. The army will continue to defend the constitution and national sovereignty, Pedrino said on Wednesday afternoon, hours after opposition lawmaker Juan Guaido was proclaimed interim president by the National Assembly, in a direct challenge to President Nicolas Maduro. Bolivia declared solidarity with the people of Venezuela and brother Nicolas Maduro in resisting the claws of imperialism in South America, President Evo Morales tweeted. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not authorize President Donald Trump's 2019 State of the Union address in the House chamber until the government shutdown has ended. In a tit-for-tat response, Trump canceled a congressional delegation, led by Pelosi, to Afghanistan, marking an escalation of the standoff between the two sides.